Chị Minh Thái xin kính chào quý vị khán giả của đài VNTV San Diego. Kính thưa quý vị, có lẽ quý vị cũng đều biết chúng tôi là cái chức vụ tổng thống của nước Mỹ là cái chức vụ có rất là nhiều trách nhiệm nặng nề. Và ai trong chúng ta cũng có thể thắc mắc là một ngày không biết có bao nhiêu chuyện nó xảy ra trong Tòa Bạch Ốc. Hôm nay, chúng tôi có cơ hội được phỏng vấn một cái người phụ tá của Tổng thống George W. Bush, đó là anh Ruben Barrales. Hello, Ruben.
Hello, Jimmy. Nice to be with you.
Yes, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how that leads up to your position as the assistant for President Bush?
Oh, sure. I was very fortunate. My parents, my mother and my father, immigrated to the United States.
Yes.
They were both from Mexico.
Okay.
And so my father was very young when he came over and worked as a laborer.
Okay.
And then went back to Mexico, and he and my mother immigrated from Mexico. And I was born here in the United States. And I was always very interested in what was happening with the Mexican-American community in the California area. And I got involved in nonprofit organizations. And I got involved helping different candidates running for office that I thought would help my community. And eventually, I had the fortune of meeting George W. Bush when he was the governor of Texas.
That's right.
And then he ran for president of the United States, and he was successful. And he invited me to come and work in the White House. And I had the privilege of being the deputy assistant to the president for intergovernmental affairs for a few years at the White House.
Wow. Yeah. Now, can you tell us a little bit about how crazy a day is supposed to be in the White House for a president?
Oh, sure. Well, the president, his day is very busy, starts early and it goes pretty late. And much of his day is taken up with briefings, mainly, or early on with national security briefings from the intelligence agencies, and then the military and others. And then a typical day might include then economic briefings and briefings on other policy issues. So there are a lot of information's coming. People don't realize, the president would take home every night a binder full of briefings on issues that were coming up, things that he wanted to know more about. And the White House itself is staffed with a number of policy experts, people in the sciences, in policy on economics, in many other fields, who help to advise the president to make those decisions that the presidents have to make.
Wow. So the president does have homework at night.
Every night the president has homework. So any of the young viewers who are listening who may want to be president, they have to know that they'll have homework if they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, after you left the White House, you became the CEO of San Diego Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
So can you share with us a little bit about your accomplishment during the tenure at the CEO of the Chamber?
Yes, I was very proud to be the president of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce. It's the largest regional chamber of commerce in California.
Wow.
And we basically were able to, during my tenure there, I made sure that we doubled our reserves in terms of making the organization financially sound. We were growing our membership. And really helping to promote San Diego as a place to do business, trying to attract business here, create better jobs in the private sector in the San Diego area.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Now, for young viewers out there, Vietnamese Americans, obviously, that really want to pursue a career in politics and also want to become a political strategist like yourself, what are the pros and cons of your career that you want to share with the younger viewers?
So for young viewers who might be interested in this, a couple things I want to emphasize. One is I mentioned, in the White House, the presidents have a number of policy experts. And so there's no one single path. I worked in the White House with some very smart people who were experts in certain fields. So, the young person might decide they want to study law or medicine or technology or other fields. They can still be involved in public life and be an advisor to the president, for example, or be president themselves, quite frankly. But I think the key is to grab onto something, study something that you're most interested in. If it happens to be politics itself, then learn about that, because there really is, there's an expertise you can develop around that, helping people get elected to office, helping people on different policy matters. If it's more technical, then focus on that. So say a medical degree, and do that well, learn about technical issues, and then you can still be an advisor, because there are a number of issues, say for example with healthcare.
Right.
And it helps our policy makers, our elected officials, if they're hearing from experts who have training, who are knowledgeable about these kinds of issues. So there's no one path, but my main advice is pursue what you're most interested in.
Okay, all right. Now, looking ahead to 2016, we're going to have the new president, right? So what do you see going to happen here with the Asian community? Since we don't really have the number of votes yet, what kind of position that you recommend the Asian community position themselves to become a voice that political figures will pay attention to?
Right. Well, the most important thing is to vote. So if there are individuals, men and women, over 18 years old, and they're eligible to vote, they're citizens, to register and to vote, because that gets the attention of the politicians and the candidates, right? And then the other thing, the next level, is to actually be involved. If whichever party you belong to, Democrat or Republican, it's to find individuals that you support and help them get elected. Help them get elected, because that will help provide a stronger voice for the community. Once those individuals are elected, then you hopefully have an open channel of communication to talk with them, be involved. And really, I encourage young people to get to know, it's not that difficult to get to know elected officials in their communities, whether they're Vietnamese themselves or others, because what many people in the political world are craving are bright, intelligent, energetic young people who are interested in being involved, and many times will take them under their wing and help them become part of the process.
Wonderful, that's a good advice. Now, looking back to your career, either in the White House or at the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, what are some best time and some not so good time that you want to share with people so they can understand that, hey, this is hard work going in?
Yeah, right. Well, the not so good, it's like, again, like most professions or careers, long hours. If you really want to accomplish something significant, I think in any kind of endeavor, you need to spend hours working on those issues. In the White House, we worked very long hours, traveled extensively around the country. It was a great opportunity to learn and meet people around the country and from around the world. But again, whatever the field might be, know that there will be long hours involved. Sometimes, the most frustrating thing are the politics themselves. Sometimes issues aren't accomplished, things aren't done. For example, President Bush was, very adamant about fixing our immigration system.
Correct.
He really was focused on correcting the problems with it and really bringing in place comprehensive immigration reform. Unfortunately, for political reasons, it was not successful.
That's correct.
But that debate continues.
Right.
That's frustrating. What's fantastic is really being involved on policy issues and other things that you care about and helping to make a difference.
Right.
And that's really what drives me to be involved in politics and these kinds of endeavors, because we really can make a difference working together. We can make changes, and that to me keeps motivating me.
Right, that's wonderful. Now, looking forward to 2016, what are the key topics, key issues that you think that it will decide who's going to win the White House next year?
Well, I think one of the big issues is just a factor of electability, which is, are candidates able to connect with the people, with the American people, a diverse people across the country. So are we going to have nominees who are able to connect with them? And part of that connection relates to the issues that they care about, and I think most Americans are going to care about jobs and the economy. I think they're going to want to make sure that that we're secure as a nation in terms of our national defense and the issues around the world.
That's right.
And I think they're going to want a candidate who cares about people like them. And so I think a successful candidate will reach in and connect with the different communities across the United States, the Vietnamese community, the Hispanic community, different communities, geographic, racial, ethnic, socio-demographic, and really try to connect and deal with issues that people care about.
Now, so here's my last question, and this is going to take a little bit of forward thinking and predictability a little bit. Most likely the Democrat will have Hillary Clinton to run, and who do you think will run for the Republican? And you, in the end, you think what party would win and why?
Well, that's not just a little bit of prediction; that's the whole thing, right? So, I think it's safe to assume that that Hillary Clinton will be the Democratic nominee.
That's right.
On the Republican side, there are a number of strong candidates. Speaking now in February of 2015.
Right.
Who knows? I see Jeb Bush as emerging as a very strong contender.
Right.
So if I had to bet today, I would say that he has a very strong chance. But there are other qualified candidates as well, and I think we'll see what they talk about, how they talk about it, how they connect with the American people, and hopefully provide some optimism and some hope for the future.
Great, wonderful advice and a lot of great input there, Ruben. So kính thưa quý vị, để tóm tắt lại những cái lời khuyên của anh Ruben Barrales và tất cả những cái bạn trẻ ngoài đó mà muốn tham gia vào chính trị, thì 3 lời khuyên của anh đối với các bạn là: thứ nhất là nên học cái ngành gì mà mình thích. Cho dù là các bạn không học về bên chính trị, các bạn là người khoa học, và các bạn cũng có thể là người cố vấn cho những cái người mà người ta run cho mấy cái office. Okay. Cái vấn đề thứ hai mà anh Ruben nhắc nhở tất cả mọi người chúng ta trong cộng đồng, chúng ta muốn trở thành một cái giọng nói là chúng ta phải đi bầu. Tại vì khi chúng ta đi bầu như vậy thì chúng ta phải có lá phiếu, mà có lá phiếu thì tất cả những cái ứng cử viên người ta với đặt nặng cái vấn đề người ta quan trọng về cái vận động của mình. Và cái vấn đề thứ ba nữa là mình phải tham gia vào tất cả những cái người mà ra ứng cử viên để người ta mình vào trong những cái văn phòng của họ để mà mình giúp họ thắng cử. Thì khi mà người ta đắc cử rồi thì chắc chắn người ta sẽ quay trở lại và phục vụ cái hoạt động của mình. Đó là 3 cái điều mà anh Ruben khuyến khích tất cả các bạn nên để ý và tham gia. Và như vậy thì Jimmy xin kết thúc cái chương trình phỏng vấn của chúng tôi hôm nay và hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào tuần tới. Cảm ơn tất cả quý vị. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.